Welcome to ContractorTools. This is a video about change orders and credits in ContractorTools. To enter change orders and credits, tap Jobs, then tap on a job. And here are the change orders and credits menu options. In the Creating Jobs and Estimates video, we talked about the Job Info screen and the Estimate screen. If you haven't seen that video, you should watch it now because this video assumes that you have already created a job and an estimate. Also, in the Job Home Screen video, we talked about draw schedules, invoices, and payments. So if you need information about those, please see the Job Home Screen video. Once you've created a job and an estimate, you may want to enter change orders or credits. Typically, you start a job by creating an estimate. You can make changes to the estimate as you work through details with your customer before signing a contract. But once you sign a contract and set the job status to Contract Signed, the estimate is locked so that no changes can be made to it. At that point, if you need to change anything in the job, you will need to either enter a change order or a credit. Change orders allow you to change the contract amount without changing the original contract after it has been signed. Change orders change the contract amount by either voiding items in the original estimate or adding items, or both. Tap Change Order, then tap Plus to add a change order. Then tap Plus to add items to the change order. A change order is like an estimate in that you can add an item from scratch here, or copy items from cost books, templates, or jobs. You can also void items in the original estimate here. To void an item, select it from the original estimate, then tap Void Item. To summarize, tap Plus to add items to a change order, tap Void Item to remove an item from the original estimate, and tap Add Item to add an item to the change order. Now if you want to replace an item in the job, you need to void the original item and add another item to replace it. For example, say the customer wants to upgrade from vinyl frame windows to wood frame windows. What you would do is void the original vinyl windows and then add the wood frame windows. To void the original window item, I will tap Plus, then Void Item, then locate that item and tap Void Item. Then I'll tap Plus to add a new item for the wood windows in place of the vinyl windows. To add the new item, I can tap Add Item and add the item from scratch, or another way to do it is to pull in a copy of the original item like this, and just copy it. The reason you might want to do this instead of entering the new item from scratch is because there might be some information in the original item such as labor costs or notes that will be the same in the new item, so you wouldn't want to have to re-enter it. So that's how I entered a change order to replace vinyl windows with wood windows. Now that that's done, the rest of the change order is just like an estimate. I have the Info button that gives me access to the change order issue date, number, status, description, and terms. The change order description and terms are just like the estimate, and they will appear in the printed change order document. The change order status is important. It defaults to pending. Pending means that the change order is not in effect until you change the status to approved. The idea is that you'll enter a change order and print or email it to get the customer to sign it, and then set the status to approved. And you would not want the change order to update the contract until it is approved. If you leave the status to pending, notice that the change order icon appears with a question mark over it, and the status here says pending to remind you that the change order has not been approved. To set the status to approved, tap on the change order, tap on Info, then tap on Status, then tap on Approved. Like estimates, you can also add photos to change orders, but I won't go into that here because that's already been covered in the video about entering jobs and estimates. To print or email the change order, tap on Document, and just like with estimates, you can tap on Settings and Edit Template to set options for the format and appearance of the change order. And you can tap the Signature button to have your customer sign the change order, tap the Print button to print the change order, tap on the Email button to email it, or tap on the Share button to send it in a text message, or save it as a PDF document. Now back to credits. Another way to adjust the contract amount is with a credit. A credit does not reduce the contract amount, but it reduces the amount that the customer owes you for the contract. For example, say the customer noticed a scratch on the door jamb of a door you just installed. Rather than eat the cost of removing and replacing the entire door, you agree to knock something off the cost of the door. Or say you promised that the job would be completed by a certain date, but that didn't happen, so you agree to credit the customer some amount of money for the delay. In summary, the difference between a change order and a credit is that a change order is used to change the estimate and contract to accurately reflect the work performed and the materials installed, whereas credits only reduce the amount the customer is required to pay for the work or materials. Credits do not change the scope of the job or the amount of the contract. To enter a credit, tap Credits, then tap Plus. Enter a name for the credit, a description if you'd like, then enter the dollar amount of the credit in one of the cost types. Then tap Save. That's all there is to it. Now once you've entered change orders and credits, you need to apply those to what the customer owes you, and you do that with an invoice. When you create an invoice, you will notice that the change orders and credits that you have entered will appear here. To apply change orders and credits to an invoice, all you have to do is tap on them, and that will add them to the invoice, like this. This concludes the Contractor Tools video about change orders and credits. I know it was a long one, so thanks for watching.